Welcome to Daryl's Little Corner. We'll be with you every Monday from 7 till 8 o'clock. Honey, sometimes we walk down memory lane together. We use old photos. Sometimes we just use old stuff. Hon, when you call in, you never know what we're going to do next, and when you call in, honey, be sure and we get your name and number right for our swap shop. You know, if you've got something to trade or sell, then we're glad to put it on the air for you. But sometimes we don't get stuff right, and you got to make sure we get your name and your number right. If you've got some old pictures or old stuff that you want us to use on the walk down memory lane, we'd be glad to put it on, but we need to get your information correct, and we'll take good care of your property. You just never know, hon, what we're going to do next. Sometimes we feature live guests. Doyle Griffin will be here later in this program. We really need your input into this program. What do you think? What do you want to see? You can call in questions or comments. Doyle will be here live, and he'll be glad to answer. In case anybody doesn't know, Doyle is the mayor where I live in Falkner. Now, in fact, if you live in Falkner and you know somebody that doesn't know Doyle's going to be on the program, run over there and tell them that he is, so that they won't miss it. Because now, I was told that I'd never get anybody from Falkner on here. And I didn't. I just got the mayor. So I'm just took with myself now. See, I'm all rattled today because I'm just real proud of myself because I got somebody from Falkner to come. Hon, right now, I wanted to show you something that I did. Hon, they was having a raffle at Shooter's Trading Post. Hon, I grabbed my camera, and I thought I was a cameraman. Boy, I thought I was good. I grabbed that thing, and of course everybody that watches this program knows I ain't good. I ain't good. But I thought I was. And when I got there, Ken Rainey, of course, he owns the place. He was already there. And he planned to donate the proceeds of this raffle to the Mason Lodge number 47 in Ripley. So soon after arriving, Marty Hill came. He's the master of the lodge. I had to ask him what it was, I don't know. Raymond Settle came, and he was the secretary of the lodge. And Ken Rainey is the Tyler of the lodge. And don't call me and ask me what that is, because I don't know. I called Ken and asked him. Anyway, what you're fixing to see just amazed us. Crazy things happen. Mayor Carrie Hill came by and drew the ticket. Tony, just go ahead and load that DVD up for us. This is going to be something you've never seen nothing like it before. Because I hadn't. At Shooter's Trading Post, we're at on East Walnut Street, 568 East Walnut Street. And Shooters has been sponsoring a raffle, and Ken Rainey is the owner here, and we've been graciously invited to come and film it. Appreciate it so much.
That's right. I remember you from a long time ago. Okay. You're from Baldwin, Mississippi. Yeah. The main shooter. Yeah. Hey, boss, what's up?
Hi, how are you?
I never had a cheer in my life.
We're gonna let you draw the winning ticket.
Okay. Just tell me where to reach.
And
Reach in this blue bucket.
Blue bucket.
Right there. And all you got, I don't have one eye, I'll shut it, okay? Alright, there it is. Just dig one. I'm gonna just dig way down the bottom. Who did I give it to? You? Yes, sir. I guess. I've got some tickets in there, but if I win it, I'm gonna donate it back to my Masonic Lodge, okay? Well, that's nice. Says on here, take and choose one.
Oh,
Really? It does.
I'll let you confirm that for me.
I see it.
And, say, take y'all get a little, well, we got the winner right here. We need to get him to say, him and it, rub it off.
What a coincidence.
Is there any rules against, one of us masons winning or?
No.
The shooters trading post had the drawing here.
But I didn't bring my stuff with me.
That's okay.
Oh, it's, there's the proof right
That's
there.
all you need right there.
There's your proof.
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't mind being in the picture, you.
Sure, he's the winner, he'll be in the picture.
Yeah.
Let me get over here with this.
Yeah, you get over here on one side, get my cousin that won't claim you on the other side.
See if I can get y'all in a row there.
Which
Get
one
everybody
do you-
in the picture. And you gonna hold
Yeah,
up
you-
that stuff.
what you need to get over here, too.
See it or not.
You want me to walk around here?
Yeah, come on, get over here.
How big a wide spread you got?
You can't get us all on there, can you?
Let them say that.
Let me shake your hand, man.
That looks good.
Can we frame that ticket,
All
I
right,
tell
let me get a
you?
couple more.
Alright.
It don't take one to gun. Yeah, that's worth a handshake.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
It's been a pleasure to do business with you.
Yes, sir, thanks for coming out.
Let me shake the hand of the winner. Maybe
Yes, sir.
maybe some of that buck, maybe some of that buck will.
Darryl, can you put that camera up there?
One was for a firearm of your choice, up to $500. Thank you.
If you ever need anything out of City Hall, call me.
Thank you, sir.
And it was sponsored by,
And it's sponsored by Shooters
Trading post.
Trading Post here in Ripley.
okay,
Ken Rainey is the owner.
and the profit goes to?
Ripley's Basin Lodge, number 47 here.
Which is located?
Behind the Huddle House, right off 15, across from the National Guard. Now, we have a breakfast every second Saturday. If people are welcome to come to that and check us out and whatnot, meet people. We have people there from all walks of life, either politics or just good people that need to be recognized, and they'll speak, you know. Usually that gets started at about 7 or 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, I believe, isn't that right? And you're welcome to come down there and have breakfast with us and check us out. Meet the people and see what's going on.
Well, I've been and I only met good people there,
Yep.
nice people.
Yes, ma'am.
But the public is welcome to the breakfast.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
That's what it's open for, so the public can come attend. Of course, we have speakers, like I said, you know. And there'll always be somebody there if you want to learn something about the community or just come enjoy a good breakfast. It's a home-cooked meal there.
It's a fine place to eat.
It sure is.
I tell you, them guys can cook.
Yeah, we got some good cooks.
Sure do. Sure do.
Not your brother being one of them, I believe.
Marion being one of them, yeah.
That'd be it.
Y'all remember you heard it here on Daryl's Little Corner.
Okay?
Say it again, Ty.
That
Say it
is,
again.
I said I would like,
Well, you know, you do what you want to.
that's what I want to do, and I feel like the lodge needs some money. And I want to donate it back to the lodge.
Oh, we appreciate that. Thank you so much, bro.
Y'all do what you
Thank you.
need to do with it.
that is mighty generous. Thank you, sir.
We appreciate your generosity on that, we sure do.
Sure do.
Here we are at Shooter's Trading Post. We're at, on East Walnut Street, 568 East Walnut Street. And Shooters has been sponsoring a raffle, and Ken Rainey is the owner here. And we've been graciously invited to come and film it. Well, I told you that was a first. I've never seen Tate Jeter floored like that before. He didn't know what to say or what to do with himself. But hon, maybe he's starting a new trend in his life. Really. Never won a thing before in his life. It was amazing to us. And he was very glad to donate that back. He wanted to give it to the Masons. You know, Tate is a Mason. And he supports the Masons wholeheartedly. So he just gave it back. But he was so excited to get to do that. He really was. Tony, you want to break us to a commercial? We're just really think that it's a good project, and we're glad to give it back to him. But just winning something. He told me, he said he'd never won anything in his life, so he was really excited. Y'all do call in on 9088 and give us some input. Tell us what you think, what you want to see, what you think could make a good program. Call us if you got something to trade or swap. We'd be glad to hear from you. 837-9088. We sure would. And we aim to please with this program. If you've got ideas for a program, we just think that'd be wonderful. If you've got something old that you'd like to show for our walk down memory lane, we'd be tickled to death to see it. Well, maybe we're not going to do a commercial. Huh? You gonna do a commercial, Tony? Okay. Y'all got a few minutes to call if you're interested in something. I would love to have some old stuff for our walk down memory lane. Something maybe belonged to your grandmother or some of your family.
Shirley's Restaurant. That's the place to be on Sundays between the hours of 11 and 2 o'clock for a dinner buffet that is out of this world. All Sunday meals will include a drink and homemade dessert. Her normal business hours are between 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Monday through Saturday, and now from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sunday. Shirley's Restaurant, the best seafood and steak in town. Fast, hot, and fresh. Open 24 hours just for you. Dodge's Store. Come be our guest. Dodge's Store, Ripley. We are 100% employee-owned with friendly service and a fun atmosphere. High quality, low prices. We are Food Giant. Our deli serving breakfast, lunch, supper. Food Giant, 702 Highway 15 North, Ripley. Come shop Food Giant. Want fresh meat and fresh produce? Food Giant's the place. High quality, low prices, Food Giant. TV 19, Ripley.
Ooh, look at here, this is a first. This is a first. Y'all remember you seen it first on Daryl's Little Corner. Honey, I was told that these Falkner folks just didn't get on TV and talk. So we didn't get nobody important, we just got the mayor. we just went right to the top. Doyle, we're so glad you're on Daryl's Little Corner.
Well, I'm glad to be here. Anytime I get a chance to be here and brag and talk about Falkner, I'm willing to do it.
Well, that's what we're gonna do, honey. Tell us now, you're the mayor, and do they give you an office?
Yes.
Oh, good. You're never in it.
No.
No. Like, we were going down the road one day, now, no joke. I moved to Falkner, and we were going down the road one day, and I said, by the way, who's the mayor here? He said, Doyle Griffin. Now, I don't know how he knew, but Tate knows stuff where, everybody watches this program knows. I don't know nothing. And I said, well, where's the mayor's office? If I wanted to see him for something, he said, well, you just passed him. We was on way to town. I said, didn't do it. He said, you just saw him. I said, I didn't see him. He said, oh, yes, you did. He said, you know that fella back there on the side of the road, picking up stuff and fixing and I said, no, that ain't no mayor. He said, oh, yes, that's the mayor. That's the mayor. He is the only mayor I have ever known of. In fact, I kind of worry about you out in that hot sun. He gets out and he picks up off the road. I don't know what that park would look, yes, I do know what it would look like without you. He's always fixing something. There's a park right next to the school. This is the workingest guy I've ever seen in my life. I'm going to town in an air-conditioned car and relaxing. He's out there sweating. I think, oh, bless him, bless him. Brother, I don't know what they pay you, but it ain't enough. It ain't enough. You don't have to worry about nobody wanting your job. But I am just amazed. Our mayor gets out, and I mean, he does everything that he has to do for the town, the decisions, but he gets out and puts legs on it. He works, and you see him out on the side of the road nearly every day. I mean, while it's been hot, and I think, we need to just take some ice water to that man, do something. But that's amazing to me. I've never seen a mayor do that before.
Daryl, what you don't know and what the people in Falkner don't know.
They will.
When you come by me on the road, I'll wave a piece of paper at you, but I'm really out there picking up cans.
Picking up cans.
Yeah, I'm really out there picking up cans to make money.
Well, that's good. That's good. Somebody needs to get them up. Yeah.
No, I was just kidding, but I know I'm bad to say I whenever I get to talking about Falkner, but you know there's no I in Falkner. It's we, and that's what I want the people here tonight to know, that Falkner is about we. It's not about I, or it's all about our town. As all of you know, a town or community is just, you can have anything that you want if the people will work together. It's just,
that's right.
If people will work together, we can have anything that we want in our town and in our community. And I know we all been reading about the new Highway 15 coming through Falkner. And you know, at first it was pretty sad feeling, because they took away all of our old businesses there.
Wiped us out.
But then, when you get to thinking about it, it got our old highway, but it's putting a new Falkner.
It is.
For the people that hadn't been through Falkner lately, I wish they would come through Falkner and start at our city limit sign up there at Tipper Lake Road, and drive through Falkner and look what improvements we've had.
Absolutely.
You can come on down through there, and our park and our school, with the new highway coming through, the highway got Hill Brothers Construction. They built a new building there.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And it got part of ILM's land over there, and they have remodeled their place, and just go on up to the other end of the corporation, and I'll tell you, right now we have a pretty town.
Isn't that wonderful? It sure is. And we're going to be 5 lane.
That's right. We're
I
gonna
don't know how to drive on a 5 lane. I'm telling you.
Well, when we first looked at the proposed highway coming through Falkner, they had a median right through the middle, and we knew that if they put a median in the middle of Falkner, it would kill us, because our schools, turning off to our schools, we'd have to go down to the next exit to come back to turn off in our schools, and if you were going northbound and you saw a business on the southbound lane that you wanted to go to, instead of getting in the turning lane and turning, you'd have to go up to the next exit and turn and come back. And you know, if I living there, I would probably do that, because you know, but being a stranger and people
Yeah.
coming through our town, ain't not many people gonna
No,
turn around and come
No,
back.
no, they're not. They're not. You're right.
But we really got a pretty town now, and this new highway is gonna, it's gonna help us.
I think so.
We've got,
I think so.
we've talked to Dollar General, which they haven't made any decision yet, but they're gonna send their survey crew out to see if we qualify for a Dollar General store.
Oh, wouldn't that be neat? Oh, yeah.
And ILM is building a 100 by 150 building up there now. They've already started in process of building it. Gonna be a warehouse and a feed store.
Uh-huh. Now,
There-
Tate buys our feed up there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, we like that. And we've got a new restaurant and store
yes,
there.
sir, yes,
Yeah.
sir. Hill Brothers.
With this fancy neon sign.
Oh, yes, sir.
I'm telling you.
Something we've never seen before in
That's
Falkner.
neat.
We own the map.
We're gonna be a big town, I'm telling you, we're growing,
That's
we're
right.
growing.
That's right.
But it just, it's amazing to me how, when they first started getting stuff out, we were wiped out. You couldn't buy a loaf of bread in Falkner. It was so aggravating, and we said, oh, mercy, they've just ruined Falkner. But I'm like you, I think they've really helped us. It just takes a little patience,
Oh,
little
yeah.
patience.
It takes time, and it's coming. People think I'm crazy and laugh at me, but it's coming.
I think it is too.
It's really
I
coming.
think it is. And it's just amazing the difference in, say, 6 months ago
Yeah.
and now. If you hadn't been to Falkner in the last 6 months, it's time to drive through. And, the buildings that they're building back are beautiful.
Yes, they are. They
That's
really are.
beautiful. That
They
sure
really
is. Faulkner is taking on the look of a incorporated town, not just a muddy spot in the road.
That's right. That's exactly
And it's,
right.
you got that, you got the neon sign, and that doesn't sound like a lot to y'all, but it is. When you drive through Faulkner, you notice that sign. You don't miss that.
And I tell you something else we've got too that people know, that we've got the best, one of the best grammar schools they are in this county, and we've got a good high school.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, folks don't, I'm like you folks don't know this now, I'm telling on TV. Y'all just don't tell anybody. My granddaughter left a bigger school and came to live with me so that she could go to Falkner High School. Now, that's the kind of school we have. From the time she entered the front door at Falkner, she was a happy child. Now, she loved it, and she graduated from Falkner. But she truly wanted, that was her whole purpose. She'd say, do anything. Grandma, please. She wanted to come live with me, and I said, live with me? What's your mother gonna say? Let me talk to her, she said. And it wasn't me she wanted, it was at Falkner High School. Loved it, absolutely loved Falkner High School. And she graduated, she's at college now, but she graduated from Falkner. And it just, it's amazing from the time she walked in, even the young people at Falkner, they're so friendly, and they just took her in like she'd always been there, like she just belonged. And she was very well satisfied, and she fit in there. Where in a bigger school, sometimes they don't as much notice you, and you get swept by the side. And she loved Falkner School. Now, that's one thing, they can't tell me Falkner don't have a good school, because they sure do. She's a good student, but she just needed what she found there. She sure did. But we got the best schools, I believe, in Tipp County.
School.
I'm a little prejudiced, but now I just am. Just the way it is. We got a great school at Falkner. Sure do. And now the town is growing. We're looking at 5-lane roads. That's amazing. Hope they don't take my one down. There's a post on my road where I turn in, and when your lights hit it, it looks like a big one. They move it. I'll never find my house.
Well, maybe they won't move.
Maybe they won't move my one. If they do, they'll put me up something else. Oh, 'cause I'm not very, I love a small town. And I will tell you what I like about Falkner. It's friendly people, and it's a peaceful place to live. It's not a lot of hustle and bustle, and it's a lot of trouble. It's just a laid-back, quiet little town. And when you drive by, people wave. Of course, that's Tipp County. Everybody loves everybody in Tipp County. But Falkner, to me, is the most peaceful place I've ever lived. It truly is. You don't even hear of, well, if you hear a siren, probably somebody got real bad sick at their house and it's an ambulance going to see about them. You know, it's not a lot of, you don't hear a lot of trouble at Falkner. No, you just don't. It's just a peaceful little place to live. And when you look for the mayor, don't go to the office. He'll be on the side of the road.
You're talking about the mayor's office. It's at the city hall. You turn on Road 200, and it's down there on the right. And we've just remodeled it. If you hadn't seen our city hall in the last 2 or 3 years, we've remodeled it, and it really looks good. And they really got it looking good.
Well, that's across from the bank, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, did they not vote there this
Yeah,
last time?
yeah.
I saw it there. And they moved the door.
Yes.
Yeah, they moved the door. I'm walking right up and there's no door.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I think I got 2 left feet. It's all right.
And I tell you, at Falkner, 'cause we're like every other town. We have meetings on the first Tuesday night of each month. And if anyone in our community or our town has got a complaint, 'cause our water system goes several miles past our city limit. But if anyone has got a complaint, the first Tuesday of every month, that's where you need to come. And I mean, that's where you need to come and do your complaining. I mean, you could stop me on the street, and I'm not the one that's going to promise you anything. I mean, I've got 5 board members that I have to report to, and if you've got a problem and you bring it to the city hall yourself, you can tell your problem better than I could if you told me your problem and I went into the board members and say, Daryl has a problem here, and I just rattle off your problem, but I don't have any emotions with it. You're the one that has the problem, and you can sit there and explain and get more done that way than I could. But anybody that's got any problems in our community about our water or anything in our town, any suggestions on what we need to do, come to our meeting on first Tuesday night of each month. Tomorrow night we'll have a meeting. But I just want people to know that. I mean, if you got a water bill you think's too high, come and let's discuss that thing. Don't get discouraged and just say, well, it's not any good. Let's talk it out and get it solved. We can solve many problems there.
Well, that's right. That's right. If you don't speak up, don't expect results.
That's right.
You're right about that. And I'll tell you another thing. One of our aldermen is a lady. Sure is.
Sure is. Susan Relevant.
Now, we just believe in equality here. I mean, one of our aldermen is a lady. And that surprised me. I knew Susan for years, and I didn't know she's an alderwoman.
Yeah.
Somebody at the shop told me, said, well, she's the alderman, you'll talk to her. And I thought, she's an alderman.
I'll tell
But
you
she
what.
sure is.
She's a hard-working person, too.
Yes, she is.
Oh,
Has
yeah.
always been. Has always been. And Mike McMillan is an alderman. Who else?
Gary Bullock,
I don't know him.
L.D. Hudson, Susan, and Tommy LeBrew.
Tommy LeBrew. So I haven't been there long.
And Sean Akins is our town attorney.
I know Sean.
Randall Moschetti is over our water department, him and Rodney Hilliard. So, and Colleen Weeks is our secretary.
But I tell you, this is a working mayor, I promise you. Never seen one before in my life. This is a working mayor. But our town is growing.
It is.
And I tell you, you have to boogie on and keep up with it. because now it is growing, it's going and growing. It's a good, peaceful place to live, and it's on the move, on the move. If you're thinking about putting in a business somewhere and you're looking for a good location, Falkner's it. Falkner's it. And I noticed there's some land available when
Yeah.
when this highway gets through.
Yes, there's more land coming available. That was one of the questions whenever I was telling everybody our town's gonna grow.
Mm-hmm.
And where are you gonna get the land? There's as much land around Falkner, Mississippi as there are Ripley, Mississippi.
Well, it is. As you come into town, there's a sign there where there's some land's for sale now.
Yeah.
It
But
sure
you
is.
know, when you want them to grow, money talks.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
when you
right.
got people
That's
wanting to
right.
grow a town, it will grow.
Mm-hmm.
It will grow. The good Lord, when the good Lord gets behind something, he makes a way for
That's
it
right.
to grow. And he, no doubt in my mind, he's behind us and what we're doing there.
Mm-hmm.
And our park, talking about our park down there, of course, that's where you've pretty much, I've put in much of my time there.
He does. He does.
For about, ever since I started. In fact, I've got a little tale I'll tell you about our park. I was working in Starkville, and I worked for ILM up there, and Mark Robinson was down at Starkville, and I told him, that was before I took office. And I told Mark, I said, the first Saturday, because Saturday was the only time I had to work at the park, and I said, the first Saturday I go that I'm mayor, I'm gonna clean that park up. But really well, of course, you know, when you go by it every day and you don't really pay any
That's
attention
right.
to it.
That's right.
And so I went down and I was gonna pick up paper, all I meant to do. But I got down there and grass was waist high, all over places there. So I said to myself, I said, well, I've got to go get my lawnmower, my push mower, and come back and mow this high grass down. So I started to my pickup, and I know most of you've seen this Field of Dreams where that man says, you
Yeah.
build, they'll come.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that phrase come in my mind. And all the way home and all the way back, you build, they'll come. You build, they'll come. And so I got back down there and cranked my lawnmower and mowed all the high grass down. Pushed my lawnmower up behind my truck, fixing to leave, and bent down to pick it up, and a fella pulled up in a pickup with a bush hog and a tractor. He said, where are you going? It was my neighbor, R.K. Hill.
Oh,
He said, where are you going? I said, well, I've just come down here gonna mow this tall grass. He said, well, I come to help you. He took that bush hog and that tractor out there, and we bush hogged and mowed the whole field. That was before any fences or anything was out there. And we mowed the whole field that day. So there's something there that the good Lord
It
is
is.
pushing for.
it is.
And as long as I'm living, it's gonna be kept that way.
Mm-hmm. And if you think a lot of you, Mayor, don't throw your trash down in the park. I'm telling you. Oh, that's just something else for him to have to pick up, because he's dedicated to it. And I believe he's dedicated to Falkner, I really do. Falkner's got a lot of good history.
Yes, it has.
Mm-hmm.
It
It
really
sure
has.
does. And I think it dates back to that Colonel Falkner, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now, I think he was kind of a rough-like guy, but he wrote some books that were really famous, in the literary field. He's just very well known. I was at Oxford Hospital one time. They had his picture up in the hospital. And I thought, all the way in Oxford. Somehow I'm small town. I'm from the backwoods, and I don't realize the scope of things. But he was very famous. And I believe he lived at Falkner, didn't
Yes, he did.
he?
And Falkner was named after him. Some reason or another, his son was spelled Falukner, and then there was some controversy between his son and him, and he spelled his name Falkner. He left the U out.
Well, you know, sometimes you'll see it written out and people put the U in there and sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
But it's actually not in there, is it?
No. Well, in either the son or the father, one of them uses a U and the other one leaves it out. I don't know which one it is. I should have known
Well,
that
I
before I
don't
got
know.
down there.
I don't know. Somebody look it up and let us know. 'Cause
But-
I don't know.
As far as the history of Falkner, if you go in our new cafe, Kenneth and Grace and Betty and Sherry and Daryl and Clyde Ray, they've got a pretty much history of our town.
Yes, they do.
There's
I've been in there.
A lot of pictures there. And
Yes.
they have really, if you hadn't been to that cafe, you need to go because it is really nice. And,
They got a lot of old things, you know,
Yeah.
interesting things on the wall.
Yeah.
You know, that really, well, to me, you know, I'm like, what is that? And Tate's like, well, I used to use them. Don't you know what that is?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I was at the house. No, I don't use that stuff. But you know, it's interesting to see things. You don't see stuff like that
That's
anymore.
right. That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
and some of that stuff, you know, it just was amazing to him.
Yeah.
You know, it's just interesting. It really is. I enjoy old things, but I looked at that. Some of it, I didn't have a clue. I didn't know what it was. I didn't work in the, you know, in the fields, but now when you did, you know. But there was a lot of neat pictures.
Yeah. They've
Really neat pictures.
got some real neat pictures in there.
They do.
They've got a real nice cafe, and they're just like all cafes starting up. They have their bumps in the road.
Well,
But you
well,
know, once they're all going to iron out, and it's going to be good. And I hope people will go and support the cafe and support our gas station and getting back to the park. We're starting the 11th. We're going to have the jamboree, our football jamboree.
write that down.
We have that every year. We have the Tipper County Youth Football League. They play on our two fields up there. And the 11th will be on a Saturday. It's going to be the jamboree. And if you want to have a good time, the youth league has got 147 kids playing this time, youth football, and they'll play on a Monday night, and they'll have 4 games a night. They'll play on two fields there. But if you want to have a good time, come out and watch these little kids play football. You really have a good time, and we have great crowds, and just like
Yes, honey. Both sides of the road, yes.
Sure
do.
Just like our park, what it's really all about is getting your town and your community together to visit. That gives them time to get together and visit one another. And,
It does, it does.
and,
You know, people really don't get out and visit like they used to.
no, they sure don't.
And when they all gather there, they see each other and somebody they hadn't seen in a long time.
That's
You're
right.
right. I like to get out and see people.
Yeah.
I
Well,
sure do.
We're also, we're, of course, we've been building on it for a year, and people are beginning to look at me and laugh, but we're building our concession stand up there. But
I saw something lumber up there, yeah.
it's coming together now, and we're gonna get it done.
Isn't
I'm
it
gonna
great?
get the last laugh.
Tate asked me what they was building. I said, I don't know.
Yeah, we building a concession stand for our park.
Oh, that's great. That is great.
And in this concession stand, we'll have of course, we'll have the concession stand part. Then we'll have a room to where you can have birthday parties, reunion.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And of course, we'll have restrooms there, and we'll have an office in it, and we'll have a place to store our equipment for a park when we work down. But it's going to be a community thing, and then we've already got our eyes on some other stuff there. Maybe having a kids' world, which I mentioned it on television. Probably they'll run out and say, "Well, we're getting a kids' world," but that's in the future.
In the working, yes. It's still in the talking stage.
That's right.
But wouldn't it be neat? Yeah.
It would be
Yes.
real nice. Sure would.
And that concession stand sounds like a good thing to me. A place where you could have family reunion or a wedding or wedding
Yeah,
reception.
You have anything there.
Mm-hmm.
And, but it's gonna be nice. We've, it's gonna be something people will enjoy. It'll be a place where
Sounds
people
good.
can come together.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good to me. You'd be surprised how that will help a town. You know, you really got a good vision here. You really do. 'Cause, I mean, where families get together and they see people they haven't seen in 40 years or, you know, that is wonderful. It's wonderful. But Falkner's got a great future. It's got a great past and it's got a great future.
It's really got a good future, and what we need is I'm not a good mayor. I'm a hard-working mayor, but
You're a fantastic mayor.
I'm not a good mayor. A good mayor, this work that I do, if we'd had a good mayor, he'd had a crew of people out there picking it up.
And raise the taxes to do it, yeah. That's
Right.
one thing, they've not, they're not big on raising taxes, and you know, if the economy like it is, that's a wonderful thing, because people just don't have it right now.
We don't have city tax. That would be another plus for somebody wanting to put a business in Falkner or a factory.
That's right.
And, we don't have city tax, and we've got a good water system there in Falkner.
But this city tax thing, I mean, truly, you know, people are strapped for money right now.
Yeah.
And if that's just another thing to make it harder on them, and we don't have it. And if you're hunting a good place to live, I promise you, I moved to Falkner. Love it, love it. I just have no intentions of leaving. It's just, I think it's great. But it, you know, most towns do. They have a city tax.
Yeah.
But it's just something else, like you say. But if you have a business, that's a lot of money, honey. That's a lot of money when you start paying a city tax.
Yeah.
Then you have to pay the county too. Because I know I have a little beauty shop there, and I pay county tax already. You know, if I had to pay city tax too, that's just another expense. And it adds up. You'd be surprised pretty soon you're closing your doors, can't pay your bills. So it's a real plus. If you're hunting a place to put in a business, Falkner's it. Falkner's it. And I want to see Falkner grow and prosper, but don't want it to lose that small town friendliness.
No, that's right.
We got small town folks, and I like it. Now, people at Falkner, they know each other, they care about each other. If something happens serious to somebody, everybody in town's upset about it. They really are. And they'll come in and talk to me, and I'm like, and who, and where'd you say they live? Because I'm not from there. But most of the people that live there have been there, and they went to school together. They know each other. And people care about people there. Now, they do at Tippah County, but at Falkner, they know each other. And that comes with a small town.
Well, another thing too that we've got there in Falkner that I like to brag about is our fire department. We have a excellent fire department. They're young people, and they care. And
They do.
when something happens, they get out and get with it and take care of business.
They do.
Really
They do. And they don't pat themselves on the back. I have tried, ever since I got this program started, I have tried to get one of them to come. And they just quietly do what they do.
Yeah.
You know, they don't do it for publicity or for, well, look what I'm doing. They really don't. In fact, I kind of wish they would a little bit. I kept calling. I've worried Susan to death. I'd call and I'd say, what do we got going? Or, and she'll say, Daryl, people at Falkner they're just not going to get on TV. Wait till she hears I had Doyle up here. I might call her when I get home. Say, guess who was on the TV? She will never believe it. But Falkner truly is going and growing, and we're real proud of our little town. And I hope we never lose that small town care for each other atmosphere.
I don't think that,
I don't think we will either, because these people have grown up together. They've gone to school together, and like my granddaughter came into the school, they just welcomed her in like she was one of them. And from that day on, she was happy. Love Falkner School. And she'll drive by when she's in the car with, oh, Grandma, that's my school. That's my school. And she's in college now. Loved it. Absolutely loved Falkner. Loved the teachers there. You know, they take time. They take time with them. And she really enjoyed that school. I don't think that, you know, you hear of these kids, oh, they just hate to go to school. She was excited. You couldn't get her to miss school. She'd go if she felt like she was dying, she'd go on because she loved it.
You know, not too long ago, we annexed. We moved our city limits out. And some of the complaints that I had was well, our kids, they gonna go to school and they're not coming back. But you know, that's for us to provide something there
That
for
they
them to
can
want
do.
to come back.
That's right. That's right.
And that's
Absolutely.
another thing that we're trying to do. And that's one thing we're doing with that park. The park is, when I become mayor, that was about the only thing that we had going at the time. And that is, I mean, we have really, it has really showcased our town, because you can have our little group of kids playing out there at night, and you let somebody come by and see that group of kids. Maybe they own a business, maybe they've got a grocery store, and they see that group of kids and they get to look, and no businesses in our town, and they, where does these people buy their groceries?
That's right.
And
That's right.
And we have it 3 nights a week during their baseball season. That thing will be packed with
Yes, it
mamas
is.
and daddies
Yes,
and
it
little
is.
kids.
It is full.
And
It's full.
that's another thing that we're trying to do.
Now, that's one thing. These people, they really support these ball games and stuff at Falkner. You not believe the crowds that they get down there at that little park.
Well, you take, back in yesteryears, when I was a kid, you know, my mother and daddy, they allowed me to play baseball. And that was another thing when I become mayor that I got to thinking about, is this time for me to give back to the younger kids. And you know, if we all had that same idea of giving back, I don't believe our world economy would be as in bad a shape
That's
as
right.
it is.
That's right. That's
But
right.
we this day and time, we got more used to me, and I, that
That's right.
it hurts.
We do.
It hurts.
We do. And while we're on I and me, let me just tell you, if you go out there and you see a ball game, and you see this little kid, and it's, well, he ain't that little. Oh, it's amazing me, they're not that little anymore. But you see this young man that's got Jeter on his shirt, it's probably Tate's grandson, Joseph. I'll tell you, he is excited about those ball games.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I mean, he has trained all summer. He runs to the end of the road and back, and he's I'm getting in shape. I'm
Yeah.
gonna make the team, and he did. And he really loves them football games. He sure does. And I think that's a plus to the young people. And you know, they have to keep a certain grade point average to stay on the team.
That's right.
I mean, you know, you can't be flunking out in your grades and stay on the team. And I believe it helps these young people stay in school.
I do too.
I truly
I
do. Because you can't play ball if you flunk it.
That's right.
You have to keep them grades up. And I really do. I believe it's a plus for our children, and that it helps them stay in school. And you know, this day and time, if a young man doesn't have an education, he's in trouble. There just ain't no work out there.
That's the truth.
It's a lot of times you could do the job, but you can't get hired.
If you don't have that piece of paper, if you
That's
don't
right.
have that diploma will get you in more doors
That's right. That's right.
than your 30 years of on-the-job training. That one person can walk in with that diploma, 9 times out of 10, they gonna hire that person
That's
over
right.
you
That's
this
true.
day and time.
That's true. And you know, they think, well, if there's young people watching, if you're thinking, well, that's okay, I'll get a GED, that ain't that easy. That ain't the easy answer. You
No.
better stay in school. Because now there's been a lot of folks that got out and flunked that GED test. That thing's hard. If you can't make it in school, if you're having trouble in school, try to arrange for a tutor. Get some extra work.
That's right, you
And
can get that.
You can get it. We got it, you can get it too. You sure can, you can do it. And just put some more time in and get a tutor to help you with what you're having trouble with. Because now, if the other kids can do it, you can do it too. And when you get out of school, you'll be so glad you got that diploma. Because like I say, even if it's nothing that you couldn't do, more and more these even the factories will not hire you if you don't have that diploma. They just won't. And you know, when you go into common labor, they just don't make enough money. You know, they don't make enough really to have a good life.
That's right.
It's just not enough money. It's just not. I mean, used to they'd work in the fields and made good, but now you work in the fields now, you better be the one that owns the field. Because now the people that's got these common labor jobs, they struggle you talk to any of them, they struggle from week to week to make their bills and you just don't have anything extra. There's nothing extra. It's a hard life.
I made a lot of mistakes in my life, but one big mistake I made was not keeping up with this computer age.
Yes, and these young people, if you got a computer and you don't know how to do it, call a kid. They can do it.
Oh, my brother, I worked for him, and they brought me a new telephone. And of course, I couldn't operate the thing, barely could dial it. And my grandson and I was going down the road one night, and he was playing with it. And his name Tyler Curtis. He was playing with that telephone, and he'd holler in there, call a name out, and that phone would dial that number.
That's over my head.
We had gone down through there, and man, he played with it all night long. Well, the next day, I was on the job working with Jimmy Thrasher, and all of that blame sudden, that telephone started going woo, woo. Hello, Moto. That thing went that, I like jumped plumb out of my truck. I said, Jimmy, what is that? He said, it sounded like a telephone ring. And I said, well, I ain't got no ring like that. I looked down, sure enough, it was my telephone.
Oh, man. We got a phone, a cordless phone that my daughter gave us. Now, you get these young people, and we just plugged it. It wasn't hooked up to the phone lines. We just plugged it in to let it charge up, to decide, what we were going to do. And we were going to leave it plugged up overnight. About 3 o'clock in the morning, it started playing a strange music. And we're like, these new electronics are amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But these young people, they've been raised on it. They know. Now, we don't know. My daughter, I've got a computer. My daughter comes over and straightens me out regularly.
You know what's funny about talking computer? When we were growing up and the commercial appeal come out, you remember old Dick Tracy talking on that wristwatch? We thought that was something back then, but those days are past.
I tell you what, they're coming out with them little bitty things. I saw it on TV.
Yeah, but they're behind time now. I'm telling you.
Now you run around with this thing stuck to your head.
That's the truth.
I'm telling you. And it boggles my mind how we talk on the telephone and it ain't hooked to nothing. I mean, now how does that make sense? We talk into this telephone, it's hooked to nothing, and somebody cities away can hear you. Now, I don't get it. This modern technology is over my head. But you better stay in school, and it better not be over your head if you want to make a living now. Now, that's just the facts. That's the facts. 'Cause if you're a young person, you're in school, you better stay with it. And if you're in Falkner High, they'll do all they can do to help you. If you need a tutor, they'll help you. They'll do everything that they can do to help you get an education. And I know that for the facts. They sure will. But Falkner is going and growing. It's a good, peaceful place to live. And it's soon gonna be 5-lane.
5 lanes, right?
And somebody's gonna teach me to drive on it.
Oh, it won't be any problem. You will stay in those outside lanes till you get ready to turn.
Is that where you go slow?
Yeah.
That's one of the,
But
where them
there'll be-
fast folks is out of my
There'll be
way.
somebody like me get out there in that turning lane though, and you'll be wanting to turn. You'll have to
right.
stop till I get back.
Absolutely. 'Cause now I'm telling you, we just don't fly. I used to drive pretty fast, and Tate has broke me from it. He'll say, "Now, honey," he don't go for fast driving, and I've learned, and you know, since I've got used to it, I don't either. I don't either. Sometimes now he'll say, "Well, hon, you can go on," and I'm like, "Do you want to drive? You go on." Okay, it's what you get used to, I reckon. But somebody will just point me in the lane that's slow. I'll be okay.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. Well, time is about to catch up with us. Doyle, I've enjoyed this so
I
much.
have too.
I surely have. And make sure you know you heard it first on Daryl's Little Corner. This is a Falkner Mayor at Ripley, Mississippi. We're sitting in the TV station at Ripley, Mississippi. This is our Falkner Mayor, and he's on TV. That's a first. That is a first. We've enjoyed this hour together. Don't forget the Jeter Family Program, Saturday night at 7. Y'all stay tuned now for Ron and Dave's Gospel Hour. I do hope you'll tune us in again next Monday at 7 for Daryl's Little Corner. May God bless.